Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm the Innkeeper, and today I would like to welcome you all back to City Skylines, the city of Drunkards. Last episode we focused on what I was just looking at right now, this nice little sort of off-ramp section that looks very similar to some of these areas right here, although the off-ramps are a little bit smaller because this has a little bit more congestion related to it. What do we need to do in today's episode? Well, I have been talking about upgrading this little section right here. I'm still just unsure as to whether I should do it now or later on once I've sort of expanded in this direction ever so slightly. I still need to get a rather large population in order to access this last little area. Well, not last area, but this little section so that I can expand upwards into Drunkton. Soon to be Drunkton. This is a Drunkablo Tycoon, which should really be something else, but I'm going to keep it there. It should be Drunkton Tycoon, but oh well, we'll leave that for just a little bit. For some reason, this bit looked really confusing from this angle. I didn't recognize it at all, but now I do understand it. We were focusing, or not focusing, but we were doing the metro system last episode, so I think it's a good idea if I get that done just before I forget. So, because I did forget last time, so hopefully I won't do it again. So metro system right here is a great idea. Excuse me. A great idea. Burped ever so slightly there. We will need to have another one. So if we go down to here, there we go. We want to get ourselves a tunnel in a rather convenient spot that's not going to have too many traffic issues, and also make sure there's easier ways for everyone to get to it. So if we have one right here, I think that would be a great idea. And at the same time, we'll set some paths up later on. So we got one right there, one right there. I think that's enough for this little section, although maybe one right here would help out so we can have a nice little round trip. Tell you what, that's definitely what we need to do. So there we go. We'll put another one right there. So there's a nice little round trip on this island, followed by probably a few of them around the outskirts. We'll put one of them right. It's a shame I can't put any of them around places where there's not going to be any... I'll tell you what, I can put one right there. There we go. They don't like the idea of these sort of metro stations being nearby. I don't understand. It makes your life significantly easier. Now you've got another way to travel. We'll put another one right here. Is that a good spot for it? I think so, because it'll come sort of around there. It's not a bad spot for it. I think right there, though, just because it's slightly further away. And we'll put another one at this corner. There we go. And another one sort of far up here. So there's a nice sort of circle going around. And then we've got the main one in the middle. Although I'm not too sure how I'm going to get that to connect up, but we'll find a way. As for this little section, I suppose we can have one right there. Since there's traffic lights, they're going to cross the road anyway. So putting one right there would sort of make life a little bit simpler, I suppose. Although they have to walk all the way over here, so I'm not sure if they're really going to take it. And then, of course, we have one right around here. Well, should we have two? One right there, one right there. Is that a good idea? It's not really that far away, is it? I think maybe one right here. And then one right there. Or one sort of hanging out around these areas. Does that make sense? Yeah, it does. Like, right here. Yeah, that's a good spot for it. Although we're going to have a bit of traffic, but oh well. And then, of course, one probably around our industrial zones. I'd say probably. I keep saying probably and maybe and all those sort of filler words. But really, we do need these metro stations to be in sort of useful zones. So one right there is probably going to do the trick. And maybe another one down at this bottom section right here. There we go. So they can connect up. Is that good? How much money do we have? Enough, I would say. We are going to need a metro station right here eventually. I might want to get it set up now, really. Right there, or one on the other side. Or maybe just sort of poking off the road a little bit. Just so that all the pedestrians don't sort of take up too much traffic light space, or they most probably are going to anyway. One right there, and then another one right down here. Yeah, that's a good idea. One right there, one right here. Yeah, that does the trick. I like that. So it's not too much of a distance. They're going to be stopping quite a bit, though. But we're going to probably increase its funding ever so slightly so that we can get some trains. Well, more trains is what I'm aiming for. So now we need to get a system set up, which is going to be extremely expensive. We're going to probably leave these two at the bottom right now because I'm not sure if we're going to be able to afford it. These ones, however, will be connected, and we need to make sure they're going to curve. There we go. So that's a nice one. This one's going to be a little bit more awkward, so if we just get it done like that. There we go. So one around here. Should that back around so it goes down here, and then this one should just sort of reach around like this? Is that a good idea? The way it turns isn't great. And also it's going under underwater, but it doesn't like the idea of curving like that, apparently. Why aren't you curving properly? That's odd. Oh, here we go. Just sort of fiddling around a little bit. Didn't like that. This one should sort of more harshly curve over. There we go. Still probably, it's not going to be the prettiest thing in the world. I understand that. But we're not really going to be looking at it very much. Should this come around like this? Probably should, yeah. How, though? Should it go down here first and then make its way around? I think it should probably... Well, no, we can come around here and make our way back, possibly. Should probably have 2 stations, really. It would make a little bit more sense. Yeah, we're going to have to come down like this. Oh, for some reason I thought that was part of it, but no. There we are. It's not that great there. There we go. I sort of wanted to look like it makes some sense, and I have just sort of these awkward sudden turns. Like this. Okay, that's quite sudden. Yeah, I went against what I was saying there. Is that sudden? That should be good enough. Alright, there we go. Although really... Well, no, it's just going to come down here. There we go. That's a nice little curve right there. And then this should just sort of poke down to this section. Although hopefully it does. Maybe not. Might want to change where that goes. Or go from... No, stop connecting to that. Okay, this is going to be awkward. Before we get rid of this this underground rail... What the hell are these called? Tubes? Yeah, tubes. Tunnels. It's the tube. Or tube, as I just said. I didn't think about having connections like this, though. I keep forgetting I can do that. So, do I want a bunch of other ways to get around? Of course, there's these 2 middle sections that I forgot about. So, I suppose I can make another connection through there, and then this one could sort of connect on down like this. So, that's one way of doing it, and this one could probably do the same thing. Only from here. Is there a good reason for that? I imagine they're going to get round easily. How's that? Is that fine? Do we want this one to come back around so it does this? So they can sort of get to where they need to go? Should we make this a straight tunnel so it can connect up nicely? And do we want to do the same thing here? Can we do the same thing there? Yeah, there we go. Is this operable? Operable. Is this efficient? Probably not. I'm fine with that. So now we need to get some routes set up. So let's see. Mostly it's from residential areas to the industrial sectors. Is there some sort of, like, general... Where do people work sections? Like, do the people around here work in this industrial sector? It would make sense if that were to be the case. This is snow, road maintenance, heating, terrain height. This reminds me of armor. There's not many games that use terrain height. And I've got my sections, population. So mostly adults. So I suppose if it's mostly adults and families, then I want to be paying attention to them a little bit more than I would the seniors, since they are the elderly. Most of the elderly live around here, apparently. We don't have a station down there. That's a problem. I just realized that. Is that a problem? It would be useful to have a station down here, so we might want to get that connected. Yeah, we can do that. So a station probably right here. There we go. They're not going to like it, but you know what? The elderly don't like anything that is useful to only the young. There we go. I said it. What are you going to do about it? You going to catch me? What will you do when they catch you? That curve just annoys me slightly, but I guess it's fine. The way it sort of branches off like that makes me feel like it makes some level of sense. Right, so what we need to do is go back to here and see what we're doing. So this section seems to have the largest quantity of families and adults. So I imagine a lot of workers are living around here. Same thing with sort of this general area. Seems like most of the elderly live in this section, which it makes sense. It's a very nice suburban zone. And then we've got this section, which is the same thing with over here, just mostly family. So maybe the inner city areas need to sort of have a little bit more of an express route to get to the working areas. That does make a lot of sense to me. So that's what I'm going to get done first. So this section right here needs to come down to... should it come down to here and then down there, or should I do the other way around? Come up to here. Or maybe up to here and then... yeah, we can do this one that goes to the much bigger estate. So it drops off here, drops off there. Do we want to pick up there? Does it go back and forth? Doesn't seem like it. That's just it's just where this route takes you. Come back around here, drop off here. I mean, is that going to pick up? It's sort of it's a route, isn't it? So it's going to keep going round, and then we pretty much grab them from there. So that's one route, one section. I have played Metro. Not the... I can't remember the series. I can't remember the game now. I played it so long ago. I say it's about a year old. A year ago now since I played it. But there was one game where you had to... I really want to remember the name of the game now. It kind of annoys me that I can't remember it. Mini Metro, that's it. Right, I went out there. You probably could have noticed. There we go. You probably noticed I went out there. Mini Metro, yes. A game where you can sort of sort out your terminal routes and all that kind of fun stuff. Very good game. I do recommend it. Anyway, yes. I have experience in this, even though not very good experience. So yes, we want to make another one from here, I believe. Or maybe starting from this section, but going in the opposite direction. Does it make sense to have one going in the opposite direction? It seems. I think it does. Should this one come down here as well, though, instead? Yeah, maybe that's the difference. It comes down here. Yeah. And maybe through these areas and then back around. It's quite a sharp turn. I don't think that's possible. I don't want to do that turn just because it just doesn't seem feasible. But it does take them through this industrial sector, which makes sense. So I guess I'm going to have to do it. And then we'll do one right here. And then it makes its way around back here. There we go. So that's sort of two routes in one, taking you through some of the highly populated areas between Drunkard and the Drunkambo industrial sector, as well as sort of the highly populated area right here near Drunkambo. So that should help out a little bit. Now we need to do a little bit of focusing around here. Maybe having another train coming from here, if we can do that. I don't think I can. I think I can only add to... yeah, create new line. There we go. So we're going to create a new line. And this one's going to go all the way down to the station right here. Right there. And then to this industrial sector. And then probably it's going to stop here. And it's going to come up here. That's a good idea. We should use up all the stations. And then come back down and make it back here. So there we go. So we got two. One going through this section. Another one going through this general area. What's going on? Oh, that's the train station. Why is it orange? Oh, all the train stations are orange. Okay, that's fine. I was just curious. I mean, I suppose it is a train network, so it's probably assuming there's some sort of connection to it, but there isn't. There we go. And then we've got one coming through this sector, which does help out. So this is sort of the main terminal, which is good for us, because it's where the university is, which means there's plenty of room for students and people to get around. And this does make a lot more sense, because students can easily get to the university now, so pretty good, I would say. I wonder if we make some sort of park and ride over here so people can just sort of park up and go down the train station instead. That would be a really good idea, actually. There's probably plenty of places that do that. I mean, park and ride, but instead of buses, trains. So, pretty cool. London probably does that. Yeah, I imagine it does. I don't know enough about public transportation to make any guesses. So how are we doing right now? We are missing out on the residential zone right here. So what we could do is start here, come down to here, pick up the residential right here. I'm just sort of trying to get all the connections, but I don't want to make one big line because that tends to cause issues. And then come back down here, go to the main section, and then I think make my way back through here or through the industrial estate. This is going to be a very long ride. I don't think this is a good idea. It'll be alright. We'll be fine. There we go. Oh no, I missed that station. Am I okay with missing that station? No, I'm not. I missed that station. I shouldn't have, but unfortunately I can't edit that because it's so convoluted. Oh, I like that. That's really cool. Should we keep it sort of nice and simple for now? Should we get the game rolling? So how can I see this without seeing the lines? I can't. Okay. Well, at least the trains are working. I wonder if there's going to be a lot of people hanging around here. So passengers served. It's going to take a little while before it starts to kick in. It might alleviate traffic around here, though, but that's very unlikely since this is sort of the entrance to the very large city that we have right here. So we're going to have lots of congestion no matter what at the moment. Yeah, it seems like lots of people are coming from the main highway, coming off right here, going around and coming up through this section, which makes sense. Eventually we need to get our, well, our bigger train network set up. Is this a problem? It seems very congested, but sort of manageable. The traffic lights are helping in this instance, which is nice. It makes sense. You're going to have some traffic. I can't alleviate all of it. So I think I'm okay with that. This, though, it's moving. Yeah, it's something that I need to think about. It is moving. No one's having any problems getting from point A to point B at the moment. Other than the people that are working around here. That's weird. Why is there a worker shortage? Probably because I need a lot more residential. Okay, I completely missed out on that. Well, I can get some more residential over here now. The only problem with that is it's going to cause some traffic issues, which is why I don't think I'm going to do that, and instead I'm going to make another road from here. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense to me. So if we have another road, do you want to curve this road? I think I do. There we go. So this is going to be another sort of mini residential area. There we go. And we will set that up. Now, it's very close to these roads right here, so I might want to make some pathways. I'm going to do that in just a second. Let's make sure we just turn this into low residential. Because they need more workers over there, so we need to use up more of our little bits of land. Now let's go and find where the hell the road is. I think it's right here. Pavement. There we go. There we go. So there's a road right there. And there's another one that's going to go down all the way from there. There we go. It's a nice little way to get around. We want to do the same thing with our metro station. We did say we was going to do that with the one that we've got over here. And I think that's definitely a good idea. There we go. So just an easy way to get to our metro station instead of going all the way around. We're going to turn this into pavement as well just to make life a little bit easier. Where was the other one? We had one over here, which I'm not too sure I think is as much of a bother. This one, which I think could definitely do with having a nice little path that curves around like this. So if the game would allow us to set that up. There we go. So there's a nice little way to get around there. For the most part. Okay, come on. No, do it. Let me just do this. Game, stop fighting me. Okay, here we go. Good. That's a nice little way to get around. Although you do end up near the morgue cemetery. It's not that bad of a sight. I don't find cemeteries to be that haunting myself. It's a nice sort of place of memory. And also lessons of your own mortality, which is another topic entirely. We do need to have a few more houses around here. Starting to expand in this direction would make a lot more sense. So doing that now would work out. Our power situation is wonderful. It's definitely a word to describe it. Having more people is something that we need. We can't expand anymore around here. Oh, well, we can. We got this little section we can use up. Yeah, there we go. I don't mind that so much. It sort of alleviates some of the traffic in the roundabout right there. So we'll speed things up. More people can come down here, and hopefully more people are going to be able to get to work now because of the new tram system that we have. We are not losing money, which is good. I'm trying to find the transport right here. So already 274 per week, and it's not been up for that long. Only 8. Okay, tourists, there's 8 per week. And it's increasing. Eventually, it's going to be much higher. I imagine after a certain amount of time. You can already see a bunch of people hanging out right there. There's lots of people on the inside. See loads right here. And it's a good thing we have a sort of back and forth system set up. So everyone's sort of being dropped off, going on the other side because they're waiting for the other train to turn up. Which I imagine we're going to... is going to turn up soon. There we go. So everyone's going to go into here, coming down. Are they going to immediately get over this stop? Yeah, loads of them did. That's great. So easier for everyone to get to work now. Is it going to help? Doesn't look like it. Not helping at all. What happened here? Crime rate is high, is it? Okay. Police. 6% crime rate is not great, but I wouldn't say that's particularly high. Everyone seems to be fairly well covered right now. So I don't think it's something worth pursuing just yet. What about this? Not enough educated workers. Really? Not enough educated workers? We have loads. I mean, the uneducated marker, or, well, the uneducated colour on the pie chart right there has increased ever so slightly. And, of course, the percentage. It's just more visual. But I would say we still have quite a large number of educated workers. What do you require? You require highly educated. Okay, then. That's your problem. That's your problem. Deal with it. Wow, water. I forgot about that. Would help out if I had a little bit more water. There we are. Something else to think about. Oh no, apparently our heating availability is not that bad. Why are there no workers around here? There's lots of issues. It's just this section. Apparently it's devoid of workers. There's no cars coming down here. If I made this one way, no, you can turn down there. I'm trying to see if there's going to be any cars whatsoever. There we go. Okay, there's some vehicles. Delivery vehicles. There we go. Apparently it just disappeared into the void. That's nice. It seems to be just... There's always a traffic issue. Oh, well, not a traffic issue, but a worker shortage over here. Now we need more commercial. Which I'm fine with, because I think we can still get a bit more around here. We can. That's good. So, some high-density commercial would be very much appreciated. How's our water doing? Yep, we're doing fine. That's a good point. We can get some more residential around here. Oh, okay. No, not like that. Not like this. So let's just sort of cover this all with nice residential and all around here as well. Not those sections. There we go. How's our water? How's our power? It's getting there. It seems to be fine. Eventually, we're going to need some more industrial. What's going on here? Oh, it's not powered. Okay. Makes sense. We are going to need a power network, so I suppose if I can just get one over here. Well, they're not connected yet, so I don't care that much. Oh, there's not enough workers around here, apparently. What kind of road is this? I don't know what kind, but it's definitely icy as hell. We need to get that sorted with. There's a very distinct lack of workers around some of our areas. Mostly down here, but mostly that's just because it's hard to get down here. Where's our metro station? It's sort of nearby. It's right there. How are we not getting any workers? It says not enough workers, right? Yeah. Oh, they require uneducated workers. That's why I remember now. I just need to sort of heighten the value of these areas so that more educated workers can work around here. That's fine. That makes a hell of a lot more sense. Let's just put ourselves a nice park right there. There we go. A nice park followed by probably another big one right here. And that should hopefully increase the density of some of these industrious buildings so that we can get some better workers. Well, not better workers, but more educated workers. Or the demand for them will at least go high, well, be much higher than what we have right now. Doesn't seem to be working. I imagine after some time, they will eventually make sure all is well in the building to allow it to be upgraded. Well, I can't do that right now because we have too many educated workers. I went too far on the education. And now it's to my detriment. It's probably going to be the same problem with some of the high-density commercial zones. Well, not high-density commercial zones, but some of these commercial zones that we have right here. We need to have some more as well. Right here. Some more along there. How's the power around here? We good? Yeah, it seems to be okay. It's spreading rather nicely, which is good to see. How is the traffic over here? It's okay. I really still think it needs to be dealt with, but for now, it's running smoother. Smoother than it was. That might be just because of the time. Well, it's night time in the game, but not that bad. We still need to reach population, though. It's increasing, but it could be a bit quicker. Is that a fire? No, okay. It's actually high school, okay. What's going on here? Emptying, finished. Okay, good. So now you can pick up the dead. How is the worker shortage over here? Still a massive issue. Alright, let's go back to our nice building plots and see if we can do anything else around here. We can have a nice little slide. Small park. Small playground. They need a playground. Oh, wow. I mean, workers need to play. That's obvious. Give them a nice little playground and they might increase in density ever so slightly. Yeah, we're losing a lot of business, which is a shame. But at least some of their densities are increasing. Oh, now I did it over here. Because all their densities are... They're doing a very good job. Like, some of them are just requiring highly educated workers for apparently a fish... A fish stick factory requires 16 highly educated workers. What? We need 16 physicists for this. We can't do it without them. Meanwhile, apparently the garment's limited. Nah, we just need 12 uneducated workers. There's apparently one car there, just a Jeep. From Armando Crowley. Amanda Crowley, which lives over here. Okay, is she in there right now? Wow, her density's huge. Do the houses look like they deserve that level of density? They really do. They're very nice looking. Very modern. Bit too modern. I don't care that much for modern housing. Very blocky and boring. But that's just my opinion, man. And that is just weird. Very... It looks like it's about to be lifted off by a bunch of balloons. I'm not too sure if anyone else is getting that vibe. But there we go. Lots of random stuff has been done in today's episode, mostly metro related. We're still sort of focusing on increasing the density over here. It's mostly just going to be a random effort by the looks of it. I just need lots of parks. More parks. More beautiful things for them to look at. And eventually they will love me. It seems like their density is increasing by a significant amount. But I suppose because their demands are not being met, it's not really happening. What I need to do is just grow a pair and delete some of the education buildings. We don't have that much. It's not really as bad as it seems. They're not very well educated over here. Or here. So just expanding around this area is probably the best idea. Expanding down here, yeah, we can get a bridge. Okay, bridge. Already a good idea, I would say. And then just expand that. Probably two bridges, one right here, one right here. They can go across and back around there. Probably going to cause a little bit of congestion that might be a little bit unnecessary. I do not know. However, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for watching me, the Innkeeper, play City Skylines, the City of Drunkards. Hopefully next episode we might do something a tad bit more interesting, like possibly expanding into this zone right here, although with lower education in mind, since it seems to be what we need right now. And at the same time, probably... I'm gonna stop mentioning this because it doesn't need to be done right now. It used to be bad, but it seems to be... what? Pass? It passes... Manageable, that's it. It's manageable now. So I'm not going to worry about it too much. And I think the metro system is helping out quite significantly. So I'm seeing a lot less cars on the road. If we just see right here... 2,000! 2,000 per week. That's so good. I definitely think the metro station is doing an incredible job right now, and it is rising. And 2,000 is quite a lot for a transport system, sort of public service. So I'm happy about that. I think it's also generating us a very little bit of income at the same time. If we check our... where am I going? Here we go. We are getting 4 grand, or spending Wiggly public transport income. So 4 grand right there from our public transportation. Specializations. Wiggly commercial income from specializations. Is that sort of the special industries? I imagine that's what that is. Pretty good, though. Is that our expenses, though? Okay, so our Wiggly public transport expenses are 10 grand, and we're making 3 to 4 grand, which means we're only spending 6 grand on public transportation, which I still think is worth it, because it alleviates traffic problems, which means everyone is going to be able to get to their locations quicker, which stops, well, which continues the much more the words, they never come to me, it's a pain in the ass. The bigger priority, or the bigger money makers, gives them no pausing time to stop making us money. But there we are. I'm talking a little bit too much and not making too much sense, because apparently I have a lot of trouble explaining myself. So there we are. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.